Again, I do record every lesson, so you can see we're recording, so watch your language. It's really me who has to watch the recording.
I'm watching the recordings in the background here.
Oh, yeah. All the time. Okay, here we go. So today is just a real fast review of simplifying exponents. All right, if you look at this and want to cry, then you might not be in the right class. Now, I have checked all of your grades, all your history and math, so I'm pretty sure most of you are where you belong. There might be one or two of you who probably might not. This right here, example 1, and simplify each expression. Example 1 is what I look for when I go to grade your notes with the instructions. It's important that you write down the directions, because how do you know what you're supposed to do if you don't have directions? I just put a bunch of wood in front of you, and you're like, what am I supposed to do with this? And then I tell you, build a birdhouse. You're like, oh, okay. All right, because you have some instructions. So please, write the directions. Really important. So we are working with exponents. And right here, my first problem number A, x squared times x cubed times x to what power? X to the first. There's always an exponent, and it's important that you recognize that. If there's nothing there, it's a 1. Now, if an expression has all the same base, what do you do when you have the same base? You add the exponents. Good. These sort of things that, like here that I'm writing down, these are called annotations. These are little comments that you add, annotate, add to your notes. Okay, annotate. That you're adding to your notes that help you. These are the little rules. I don't write down rules. I put everything in terms of words. Okay, so you're going to add those exponents. So we have the base that stays the same. Since the base is the same, what do we do for the exponents? Add them to get 6. Good. All right. Letter B. Negative 2a to the 4th b. Quantity. Negative 7a b to the 6th. When you have things that are just next to each other, it's important to remember that they are multiplied. If there's no plus or minus in between, it's multiplication. All right? We want to make sure we understand that. And so all of these things are multiplied together, and what I like to do is really just write it out, expand it really, so that I can see it's negative 2 times a to the 4th times b to what power? First. Times negative 7 times a to what power? First. Times b to the 6th. Now, do you have to do this? No, this would be a step you might not need to do, okay, especially today. But I like to show it because I like to remind you this entire expression is multiplication. And if you remember your properties of algebra, multiplication is commutative. Commute. I'm going from my house to school and school to my house. The order doesn't matter. I get the same result. Okay? I have to drive 5.2 miles. Okay? You can change the order of all of these things. So I can multiply things that are similar. So negative 2 times negative 7. Positive 14. A to the 4th times a to the 1st. A to the 5th. B to the 1st times b to the 6th. B to the 7th. And that is a fabulous answer. And it should be looking like a B. Okay? Questions on that? They raised up on my, I was wondering why it seems so, yeah, I need to lower my voice. Okay. Good. Y'all, you good with this? This isn't scary? No, okay, good. All right. Here we have a whole group that is being squared. This is called a power to a power. A power raised to a power. What do? What can you do? Multiply the exponents. Okay, very good. So you can multiply exponents in this case. I'm going to do it another way too. What's another way you can do it? By itself, a copy of itself. Yeah. Exactly right. Sure. That's what powers mean. It's a repeat. And so I could write it out, negative 7 x to the 5th y squared times negative 7 x to the 5th y squared. And if I do it this way, then it becomes this exact same problem we did before, right? Okay, so I'm always going to go back to the essential understanding. And the understanding is that we're repeating it. You write it out, you add exponents. Or we can shortcut that. And I can think, oh, well, maybe I can just multiply my powers. But I want to be sure this is negative 7 to the first power. And then we can multiply those powers. And so that would give me, what is negative 7? Yeah, it's quantity squared. Negative 7, quantity squared becomes positive 49. Negative 7 times negative 7 gives me positive 49. Then we would get x to what power? X to the 10th. Again, x to the 5th and x to the 5th gives me x to the 10th. And then y to what power? The 4th, okay? So a couple different ways to do it. I don't care which way. Lots of ways, okay? And then the very last way I am going to write this one out. What's being squared? Yeah, 9kd to the 5th. So I'm going to, kd, funny. All right, I'm going to write it out 2 times just because that's, I don't know, easier for me, but I just like to remember that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and multiply together. So I have 9 times 9, which is, or 9 squared is 81. Then I have k to what power? K to the 1st times k to the 1st, which is k to the 2nd. And let's see, I have, ooh, this is interesting. What? This is kind of weird. What does this negative do? Is it attached to the d? It's a negative 1. Yeah, it's really negative 1 times d. So I can relocate it, right? Okay, so what am I going to do with this negative 1? Multiply by 81. It's going to become negative 81, okay? Now I've got to worry about my d's here. I've got a d to the 1st, a d to the 5th, and a d to the 5th, which gives me d to the 11th. Okay. Questions on those? You're good, right? This is notes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pass out your homework.
Like last year. Like